Silver had a remarkable day. Does this mean that we're going to see a silver bull run to the next level? Well, we'll answer that question and find out if this silver squeeze that's coming up is going to work. It looks like the way that silver's price is moving, there could be a fighting chance. But I wouldn't get your hopes up too much as we explore. I don't mean to squash your hopes and dreams. There are some folks that comment on my videos when I try to be contrarian or try to put things in perspective that think that I'm just raining on everybody's parade. But I think the best thing we can do is hope for the best, but prepare for the expected. And what is usually expected with silver is we tend to be disappointed in terms of its price performance. Snap moves like we're seeing today can just as easily be squashed on the next day. But notwithstanding, we can celebrate because silver is staying in an area well above $30 an ounce. And that's a pretty safe bet to say, and many of us feel that, it wasn't that long ago when the $30 silver is something that we can only dream of, for those of us who have been pessimistic for so long. Well, we're comfortably above that. In fact, earlier today, silver got above $34.50. Now, most of us were optimistic that we would see $34, but it has punched right through that, and now it is sitting at $34.45. That's a 75-cent increase today. That's a 2.22%. Anything above 2% on any given day in a move in the price is good, and I see that as a surge. Yes, indeed, especially given it in one trading day, we're seeing that big of a movement. It's a big deal anytime this happens. We see a couple of days like this, and we're in a quick bull run here. Now, we should be cautious in our optimism here. What's driving this? Well, a lot of it is based off of the auto tariffs. And that will be, many people see as being unfavorable for the U.S. economy. Unfavorability because we also have other things that are in effect, including cuts in government spending that contribute to the economy. Most analysts feel that we are headed for a recession driven by these factors. And you know what? Even though I voted for Donald Trump, they very well may be right. And I also will go on to say that it will not be a bad thing in this case. I'll get to that in a moment because that's relatively controversial. Anytime there's a dip in price, though, this is where you should be shopping around if you have the means to buy silver to add to your portfolio. You should only buy based off of your budget, and you should shop around for the best price and best service. You know what? I have actually made a purchase from Summit Metals anonymously. In other words, they didn't know it was me making the purchase, and I did it for the service to kind of test their service, and I didn't pay the lowest price. That's right, I didn't pay the lowest price because they're not always going to be the lowest price leader, but their service is impeccable, and so is their shipping, very fast shipping as well if you make a purchase from Summit Metals. So what's happening here? Well, we see that silver advancing well past $34 an ounce here. It's strengthening as fresh 25% tariffs on cars entering the U.S. have stoked fears of global economic uncertainty. And Donald Trump said after the markets closed yesterday that he was going to be putting this 25% tariff that will go into effect on April the 2nd and be collected from April 3rd. Trump added that these tariffs will be permanent. They're here. They're going to be staying. The impact on Trump's auto tariffs will be significant on Mexico, Canada, Japan, South Korea, and Germany, which were the top 5 auto exporters to the United States in 2022, according to the Commerce Department. By the way, most European countries do not import U.S.-made automobiles. You hardly ever see any U.S. automobiles over there. A subscriber of mine pointed that out. I think that's worthy of note. Silver price tends to perform better in heightening global economic uncertainty. In fact, it has far outpaced gold today. Gold only went up 1.19% today, up $35.90. Notwithstanding, gold has now broken through yet another record high. reaching a high of $3,062.20. But what's noteworthy today is silver's price movement up there. It's finally now outperforming gold in terms of its price performance. And really, in a sense, in a way, this is unusual because you would think these tariffs, would have an effect. It means that there would be less impact on the economy, less cars coming into the United States from foreign countries, and that would mean less economic activity, which means less demand for silver, which should mean lower prices, which is why I'm only cautiously optimistic about today's price movements. This price movement that we saw today is driven out of fear. So keep that in mind as well. Trump's auto tariffs have also weighed on the U.S. dollar, as its consequence will also be borne by the domestic economy. The automakers of the U.S. would be forced to set up manufacturing facilities in the domestic region. By the way, that's another angle of this. Those companies that have moved to the U.S. or have U.S. manufacturing, that very well could boom. And that could cause more demand for silver from one area to another. A lot of silver has been moved into the United States, I think in part for this reason. Given high labor costs in the U.S. economy, prices of cars will shoot up, which will diminish the purchasing power of households. The U.S. dollar index, has now fallen, retraces from its 3-week high of 104.68. So investors will focus now on the U.S. personal consumption expenditure, known as the PCE data for February, which will be released coming later in the week on Friday. And speaking of cars, well, that's why I've got some of these cars here. I got my Hot Wheels here. I got my Hot Wheels, honey. That's right. I'm going to be doing, we know old Governor Hot Wheels up there, don't we? Come on now. Now, who did I impersonate? Post it in the comments section down below and who I just impersonated for Hot Wheels, honey. Yes, indeed. And this is one auto that is made in the United States. It's a Tesla Cybertruck. Now, I'm sure some of these components very well could have come from overseas, but this is largely manufactured right here in the good old USA. I think Tejas, if I'm not mistaken. That's Texas for those of you in Rio Linda. And then we got the old Hummer here. I think this is USA made as well. And I don't know what this is, but it was pretty cool. Thought I'd throw that out there. All right. Yes, I can be juvenile at times. I sure can. By the way, these are very hard to find. I had to pay a premium for this son of a biscuit. All right. So going forward, investors will wait and see what happens with that. But the Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge, which is the core PCE, to have grown at a faster pace at 2.7% year on year compared to the 2.6% increase seen in January. So we'll see how that plays forward. Now, looking a little bit at technical analysis here, which is something we have to consider as well. Silver price advances towards the flat border to the ascending triangle chart pattern. In other words, it's forming a wedge and tightening its movement. That's actually a good sign near the October 22nd high of $34.87. In fact, it was right around that time when silver indeed did get to $34.91 for a brief amount of time. I remember that day because I was watching it because I was hoping it would reach my goal. My prediction for $35 last year, we were 9 cents shy of it. My prediction for this year is $36. Will we get there? Most people feel that, yes, we'll get there and surpass it. But look at what happened last year. Many people thought I was also very conservative in my prediction last year. We didn't get the $35 last year. The 20-day exponential moving average near $33.20 continues to provide support to the silver price. That's a very good sign. I like to look at where the support is. In other words, where it's less likely to go below. So that's very good if we're in the $33 range. So we'll see that. The 14-day relative strength rebounds above $60, suggesting, or 60, I'm sorry, that's a number for the RSI, suggesting a resurgence in bullish momentum. Of course, all that could go right out the window with other psychological factors that weigh on the market. And those are part of the natural market forces that I talk about here. And now there are some of the silver futures price is that we've been seeing earlier in the day is well above $35 an ounce. In fact, I'm going to look it up right now. and see where that is sitting at this point in time. $35.32. A 3.21% increase in this silver futures market. So that is something else. That is something to look at anyways, to see where the price could go in the future, right? Exactly. Which is breaking away from the shorts that are betting on lower price. Now that leaves us to the question, will the silver squeeze work? If the silver futures price is rising so far above, almost $1 above spot price, that is a sign that there's pressure on the shorts. And if people start buying silver on the 31st, whether it be at the PSLV, which many people feel that's an area to target, which would force the PSLV to buy more physical silver, I don't think that's going to do that much good, honestly. Very well could put pressure on those short positions, though, but it would take a whole lot of action there. More than probably than the social media buzz is there to bring it about. There's not as much leeway and headroom against this silver squeeze as there has been in the past. And in reality, it's really a squeeze or a raid of buying, whether or not be electronically or physically. And so we have to keep that in mind too. You buying physical silver on the 31st will have zero impact other than to enrich the bullion dealers out there. You want to enrich the bullion dealers? That's fine. The premiums will probably be going up that day. I saw somebody have posted that says, don't do it, bullion dealers. It's for one day. Well, make no mistake. If they start to see a whole lot of buying come in, they're going to do it. It's just, that's the nature of what business is. They're going to profit from it. So keep that in mind as well. I would encourage people just to buy for the for the best reasons. There's no really wrong reason to buy silver. Well, I guess there is. Maybe that's a subject for another video. But the best and the right reason to buy silver is to preserve your wealth over the long course of time. So stay tuned. Now, I forgot to tell you about this earlier, so thank you for sticking with me this far in the video. I did buy a couple ounces the other day. I'm going to show those to you now. So if you made it this far in the video, other than guessing who I impersonated earlier, by the way, it should have been a spot-on impersonation. You should be able to get that right away. I'm kidding. It was a horrible. But anyways, you might still be able to get it if you've been paying attention to the news. And that is, put 2 ounces. Put 2 ounces in the comment section below if you made it this far. So I'm going to show you what I got. I got this little Legacy Eagle. It's kind of an interesting little piece. Dated in Roman numerals 2024. Unity, strength, and prosperity. It's got the head of an eagle and 2 other eagles in flight there. It's called the Legacy Eagle. And here's the reverse of it. It is a coin from the Cook Islands here. And it is 1 ounce, 4/9 pure silver. Came in this capsule. Got this thing for $35 a couple of days ago. And then I got another one of these. That's right. This one I had put in a capsule. It is the 2013 bust here type reproduction silver round here with fine silver printed upside down or stamped upside down. Very strange how that was done. Here's the first one I got, just so you know that I'm not fooling you. I got 2 of them now. So there it is. All right, let me know what your thoughts are about this video and what's going on in the market today with silver. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch and to encourage you to please rate this video. That means press the thumbs up button, share it, and subscribe.